friends, and welcome back to my channel. I am Hawkinsimmer, and today we are doing a fixer-upper. If you missed my video where I built this home, I will definitely link that in the eye above. Go watch that first for a little bit of context. I made this fixer-upper home in hopes that Kayla, aka Lilsimsie, will pick it off the gallery and do a fixer-upper herself. But I also wanted to take a shot at doing a fixer-upper of this home because I love this home. I was originally calling this house the smelly 70s, but I am now happy to call it the stylish 70s. So originally I thought that there was a family coming back to this home because her parents owned this home in the 70s and they were criminals and party animals and they had to flee and disappear forever to avoid being caught. I'm not sure what their crimes are, that's not for us to know, but she has come back to claim this home and to renovate it. So she and her husband live here with a baby and a child. So there is a nursery and a child's room as well as a master bedroom. So you just saw that I found a fortune. They had left behind a fortune in the puppet show thing. So I had hidden that in there in hopes that, you know, Kayla will find it and think it's funny. I don't know. She likes to have a backstory for these kinds of things. So I wanted to have one and I thought it was a good one. So here we are just kind of doing the backyard. I've mostly gotten rid of all of the clutter. If you can tell, I've left a few pieces from the original build in, thinking that I might use them. I might be able to refurbish them. That's kind of how it goes when you're doing this in real life. Like you might be able to use a few pieces that you found, but in the end, I really only kept a couple of pieces and I added a ton. I didn't have professions picked out for this family, but I don't think that they're criminals. I think that they probably have pretty normal lives, but they do like to host and entertain in this house, much like, you know, the original owners, her parents did. So I wanted there to be an outdoor entertainment area. I never do outdoor kitchens, but I love when I do end up doing them. And I wanted there to be a pergola. You know, when you're doing these renovations, it's easy to think that you might just like extend the roof a little bit, but in real life, that'd be really difficult to do. So I wanted to just add this kind of pergola that they could have, you know, like bought from Wayfair or something. And then they had a little covered area. I ended up swapping the little table for just a settee area. We cleaned up the pool. We cleaned up the landscaping. I actually really ended up loving this landscaping and I didn't have to spend a ton of money on it because I used debug landscaping throughout. So really quickly, while we're doing the outside of this build, which I find to be the least important part of it, let me just quickly explain the kind of rules, I guess, that I'm going to lay out in the post on the gallery. So new family moving here, they have a child and an infant, so there needs to be a nursery and a child's room. The couple loves the layout, floor plan, and size of this home, so they're hoping that they don't have to cut down on any of the space, aka don't touch my walls, and they like the 70s charm. They just want to clean it up a little bit and add more mid-century modern instead of just tacky mid-century modern. So they are hoping to not have to spend a ton of money on the renovation. They're hoping that they could get a bit of money from some of the vintage items from their home, and they're also hoping to keep some items that work kind of for them. And that's kind of up to Kayla's discretion, whatever she thinks kind of fits the new look of the house, and she can sell whatever she thinks doesn't. For me in this renovation, I ended up keeping the bar stools and keeping the clock and the bed in one of the rooms, but I moved it to the master bedroom. And otherwise, I really don't think I kept very much. I wanted the money that they had. I kept the record player, but again, like it just kind of is up to you. I felt like those few kind of pieces might work in a new home and the other ones just kind of didn't. I kept the conversation pit in my build, but it's not a requirement. Like I said, the couple likes the feel of the house and it being really 70s, but they want it to just be updated 70s, if that makes sense. But we're moving on to the interior now, and I started with the kitchen. It is kind of right in the front of the house, which I usually don't do, but it worked in this one, I believe, because it's kind of in this nook that juts out in the front. But I love this kitchen. I love how big it is. I love how open it is. I love the color scheme. I fiddled with the upper cabinets a lot, but I did eventually get them to work. I really love this kitchen. Like I said, I kept those bar stools, and I originally thought maybe I would change the swatch on them, but I thought this pop of blue really worked. And the seat is really where it's kind of funky, but you can't see that, you know, if you're just looking around the house. This up-down view really gives you the visual of the quirkiness, but it's kind of a hidden gem, I think. But I'm just kind of cluttering up this kitchen. I really like this renovation. Originally, when I sketched out this floor plan, I wasn't going to use it as a fixer-upper, per se, but I thought it would work really well as a fixer-upper. So I kind of started at the end and worked backwards. I did make this renovation after I built the fixer-upper, obviously, but I kind of knew what I had in mind when I was making it so gross and disgusting. And I really did keep the same layout. I didn't change any exterior or interior walls around. So it is the exact same floor plan as the original build. I did change the floors and all of the walls. I didn't keep any of the wallpaper, but I just found other ways to make it a little quirky. I really ended up liking this renovation. But I'm going to take a breath now, a little step back from talking about the renovation. How are you all doing? I am okay. Today is so sunny. It's supposed to rain for the next week, and I am so ready to go outside and sit in the sun like a lizard. But here I am doing the conversation pit. I, of course, use those couches from Eco Lifestyle. They work perfectly to make a little sectional couch, so it worked really well in this little build. I really, really like the way this worked out. I kind of thought it was going to seem tacky, and it does, but I think I said this in the original video that this just to me seems like it would be a good conversation starter. People come in and they're like, oh my gosh, wow, this is so weird and quirky. And you'd be like, yeah, it's part of the original house and we just wanted to keep it. So yeah. But I am using the new CC items that we got with the update recently. I think they can fit a lot of styles, but I think they really work with mid-century modern. The shape of the chairs is perfect. I love them. And I like this little green swatch. Green, I think, is kind of a quirky color, but this kind of hunter green really is subtle, adds just a little bit of depth to the room. I really like this dining area. I wish maybe the bathroom back there was one tile wider and then the hallway was one tile more, but I didn't want to make this house any bigger than it already is. It does kind of have a little bit of dead space between the living and kitchen area, but I don't think it's so big that it's unnatural and feels empty. You can see that I left those two couches there because I thought maybe one of them might have a cool swatch that I could use, but in the end, I didn't keep either of them. They have terrible swatches. I hated it, but I really liked this little kind of area between the conversation pit and the dining room where I used that really tall fence and the new item with the update. I really thought that it looked cozy and quaint and warm. I don't know. I love little spaces like that where people just have a table with some junk on it. I don't know why that does so much for me, but it really does. And I put a couple of the snowy escape rugs in the conversation pit. I could have just put carpet, but those rugs look shaggy and I wanted it to have that effect. I actually use that rug in every bedroom in this home. That rug is so good. I love that rug. You size it up a couple times and it is perfect. I wanted to keep the record player, but I end up moving it and I put a piano right there. But we're moving on to the master bathroom. It was huge to begin with, so I wanted to keep it huge. I thought about the floor plan of it for a long time, honestly, because I wanted both a walk-in shower and a tub, but I wasn't really sure how to make it work. But I ended up using a corner tub, which I never use. It's the most expensive tub in the game, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I really like this master bedroom. It's plain, but it has a lot of functionality. The shower actually has 2 shower heads. I wish that they would make a shower head that was more expensive so that we could make kind of luxurious walk-in showers like this, because in reality, the cleanliness and the this and whatever of those shower heads is really low. But in reality, the shower itself, if this was in real life, it would not be considered low quality, I guess is what I'm saying. I've recently gotten into layering and stacking mirrors. I don't know why I never thought to do that before, but I can't remember, someone on Instagram had stacked some mirrors together and I was like, I can do that. That's cute. That's a cute way to make more interesting decorative mirrors. Just had to take a half-hour break. My mother-in-law called me to tell me that the state that we live in has opened up the vaccine registration to folks who work in schools. So my husband and I both instruct for a high school marching band, and we think we might qualify for that, but we're really not exactly sure. So we're going to wait until he gets home from work and kind of look online and see if we qualify for that. So we might, get registered for a vaccine. How fun is that? I'm super excited. I would love to, leave my house for something other than going and working in my office. That would be so much fun. Anyway, back to this build. We're doing the living area. I kind of put it off a little bit. I jumped around this house a lot, but I just wanted this to feel cozy and light. and a little funky. I love this fireplace from Snowy Escape. I think it has like a modern vibe, but with the wood there, it really looks kind of cozy. And I used these bookshelves. I really wanted to use regular bookshelves and maybe different ones on each side, but I just couldn't find two that like made it make sense. So I used the exact same shelving unit, and it's technically not a bookshelf, but I put, one of the little book bits on there, one of the clutter books, I guess, but I didn't want them to look exactly the same, so I sized down a plant and then used the 9 keys to raise it up so it looks like there are 2 different plants there. And then I just kind of moved around the books to make it look more, diverse between one and the other, and I used the ones from all of the packs to give it a little bit of, variety, I guess. I really love these shelves. I do wish they had better slotting options, but you can make it work with 9 keys. So yeah, I love that crazy little like giraffe lamp. I love it. I think it's so cute. I've been using it all the time. I really, really like it. And I've gotten better at, putting in a lot of the cheats so that I can get all of the like career and trait things. I love all of those items, and I just wish we could just build with them and have them, thank you. But I guess that'll never happen. And here we are doing the furnishing. I wanted to use a comfy sofa and then have like some quirkier chairs. I think I ended up switching from these to something else eventually, but I did really like these chairs. They remind me of chairs in my grandparents' house. They aren't exactly this color, but they are a little similar, I guess. Let's talk about poofs. They're really cute in The Sims, but in real life, they're stupid. They're overpriced and uncomfortable. Who is sitting on that? No one. I will never have a poof. I say now, but maybe I'll change my mind, but I doubt it. They're so expensive. They're like $80 for a poof. And if you pulled out a poof in your living room and asked me to sit on it for the evening, that would be rude. I would not be here for that. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'd sit on the abandoned floor of like an insane asylum to hang out with my friends, but I would complain about it pretty relentlessly, I'm not gonna lie. But I did end up liking this living room. I think it looks super cozy. I just want to take a nap in the sun like a lizard. I think I've said that like 3 times already, and I don't care. It's the truth. But we are moving on to the bedrooms now. The main living area is done. I go back and tweak a few things, but for the most part it's finished. So we're moving on to the master bedroom. I messed up and deleted the bed that I wanted to use for this bedroom, so I did end up like paying full price for it. If you don't know, in The Sims, items on a lot do depreciate, so it would have been more cost effective for me to just use the bed from before, but I messed up and deleted it, so whatever. So this room is pretty beige. It's a lot like a lot of the rooms I do, but I do think that it has a couple of quirky elements that make it a little bit more exciting than my usual beige master bedrooms. I usually have a hard time kind of describing what kind of style of home I would like someday, which is why I've never built my dream home in The Sims, but I really love this house. Like, I could absolutely live in this home. I love the mixture of contemporary with more 70s style. I love that it's kind of white and bright, but it has enough depth and darkness in it. I could live in this home. I could live in this master bedroom. I love the floor to ceiling windows. I would need some serious window treatments. I love to sleep in the pitch black, and it would not work for me. Dream house someday will have like remote windows that Siri can like, or not Siri, Alexa can like raise when I need to wake up. That would be ideal for me. That's not even available in The Sims, and I'll never be able to afford it in real life, but a girl can dream. Listen, if you can hear my cat in the background, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's wrong with him. I filled up his food bowls. I opened a window so he could sit in the windowsill. He's just crying and crying all through this video. I've had to pause so many times. It's ridiculous. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, I had to swap around a few plants here. I just thought some of them worked better in new places. I wish I could afford to have as many fake plants as my Sims can afford to have. But we are moving on to the nursery, which might be my favorite room in this house. I think it's super cute. I placed some shelves that I think really rounded it out. It's pretty neutral. I wanted it to be like beige and wood and kind of more toned down colors. I really, really liked how this turned out though. I really wanted to use that tree decal, but it didn't end up working out with the shelves. I put the shelves up. I hate that those little photos have a big, huge shadow behind them when you size them down, but I don't think it's too noticeable. I wish that it had more swatches too, but I really liked the shelves that I put in. I thought it looked so cozy in here, and I actually really like that bassinet from Realm of Magic. I know it's kind of quirky, but that was kind of the vibe of the whole house. So I don't know. I thought that this was a room that a child could like grow into. It's not so baby looking, you know, it could grow with someone. I did end up getting rid of the puppet show thing that was hiding all of the money. I thought about bringing it back and putting it somewhere, but it just didn't work. So, you know, but we're finishing up the nursery, just a couple of finishing touches in here, and we're moving on to the child's room now. So I figured this kid is somewhere between like 8 and 10 years old, a little bit older than this baby, or I guess quite a bit older. And you know, I think I never build nurseries because you can't have babies in CAS. Never thought about that. But it's a pretty neutral little kid's room. I did put a computer in here because there wasn't one in the rest of the house, and I thought that we needed one. I wanted to leave it neutral because I just want people to be able to play with their own Sims here. I usually do make a family beforehand, so I have an idea of maybe the style of the people that I'm building for, but I like to keep it neutral so that people can download it and use it as they see fit. Overall, I really liked what I was able to do with this build, and I hope Kayla finds this and renovates it. But we are getting close to the end of the video. The screenshots are coming up, so thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I upload new videos every Monday and Thursday at around 4 p.m. So I will see you all in the next one. Bye! Time to go lay in the sun like a lizard.